I thought I was prepared for Frankenstein. Welcome to today's deep dives where we geek out about films. The main cast are all water signs. Jacob Elordi, Cancer. Mia Goth, Scorpio. Oscar Isaac, Pisces. Now, I'm sure Guillermo Del Toro did not cast them based on their astrology signs. If he did, it's a very smart way of casting people. Take this cast, for example. They made a perfect dream team because water signs, they're known for their sensitivity and being deeply in touch with their emotions and the emotions of others, which is exactly what this movie needed. All of their performances had a lot of depth. The one that stuck out to me the most was Mia Goth because I felt like she was literally just playing herself. Really suited Elizabeth's character. Oscar being a Pisces is very fitting because Pisces are very known for dealing with their problems by using escapism, in turn not actually dealing with the problems, which is exactly describing Victor to a T. Jacob being a Cancer also is very suitable for Creature because Cancers are very sensitive to people's emotions and sensing others' tones, and they're very family oriented, which we can clearly see in Creature because Creature can automatically tell when somebody is being good with him or if somebody's like upset with him, and he wanted a lifelong companion, which means he doesn't want to be alone forever, which means he is family oriented or really looks for that connection. However, Guillermo did mention that he casted Jacob Elordi based off his eyes, which I thought was very interesting, but it totally makes sense because he also mentions that that's how he casts most of his actors for his movies. The eyes have such emotional insight. I totally get what Guillermo's saying, how he can look into somebody's eyes and see their emotions and totally read them. He mentioned that Jacob had really innocent and soulful looking eyes, which I can definitely see. He also casted Jacob based on his stature and the rageful performance that he did in Priscilla. Personally, I think that Jacob showed his dedication to his craft in Euphoria when he got a concussion from banging his head on the floor. That was enough for me. Speaking of innocent eyes though, Andrew Garfield was supposed to be the original Creature. And I can see why Guillermo wanted to cast Andrew because Andrew has the same little like glimmer in his eyes. He has that innocent sort of look. I personally do think that Andrew Garfield would have killed the Creature role. Andrew Garfield had to cancel about 9 weeks before filming, which I cannot imagine the stress as a director. Guillermo mentioned something so insightful. He said that he doesn't get discouraged by the bumps in the road because they always mean that something wasn't supposed to go that way. Even if the sun sets too early on a filming day or if an actor ends up not working out for a role. And I think that's such great advice because I've been there before. Lastly, David Bradley playing the blind man, aka Filch from Harry Potter. Oh, I know somebody knew what they were doing. That Harry Potter nostalgia. I just know it pulled the heartstrings of all the Potterheads out there. The movie's color palette is literally gothic heaven. There's greens, there's grays, black. The red was absolutely beautiful. It immediately immersed me into the beautiful worlds that Guillermo is so good at creating. But this isn't just pretty colors. There is literally intention and symbolism in everything. Let's take the gorgeous costume design, for example. The way that they dressed Mia Goth. Elizabeth's character is seen in this beautiful beetle pattern dress, but it's not just because she likes beetles, because she tells us that in the movie. It's too obvious. Beetles symbolize rebirth and protection, which we can see in the rebirth of Victor's mom in Elizabeth. They're both very, very similar in the way that they're both nurturing, gentle, and very protective over the people that they love and the things that they love. Now, Elizabeth's white gown, now that... My jaw literally dropped when I first saw her. She looked like an actual angel, but immediately when I saw the wraps on her forearms, I was like, oh, that's connecting her to Creature because why does it look exactly like his bandages? I thought that was so beautiful. Guillermo really loves to play around with parallels. He likes to be slick. He slips in these little details where we might not catch it. Victor's family used a lot of red. The red really truly embodied what Victor's family was all about, and his backstory perfectly encapsulated why he is the way that he is. Red symbolizes danger, violence, rage, which are all things that we can see in Victor's dad specifically. We can see that Victor was very mistreated by his dad, verbally, physically, mentally. But ironically, red also means love, which we can see from Victor's mother. He adored his mother. And funny enough, Guillermo slipped in another detail where Victor is the only character that wears red throughout the film. And this was just tangible representation of how your trauma follows you through your life if you don't deal with it. There was more subtle details as well, but very profound ones for sure. We're just gonna rapid fire through them because if I don't, I will cry again. I like the detail of Creature saying Victor as his first word because Victor sees him as this beautiful creation. He's excited for it, teaching him everything for the first time. He's being very patient with Creature at the beginning. And then as you can see, he gets really frustrated with him because he's not learning fast enough. Doesn't say any other words other than Victor. And this definitely checked me because Even me knowing Creature's entire backstory from the very beginning, I was like, well, he's like scary, like the way that he looks, like he's really tall, like he's powerful, he must know like what he's capable of. But we as the audience definitely forgot that he's literally a newborn. He doesn't know how to do anything, and Victor is supposed to be the one teaching him this as a father role, as a creator role, that he gets so frustrated with him and he kind of just drops the ball on him. But I do love that Creature's second word is Elizabeth, because he sensed that Elizabeth's intentions were so pure for him the entire time. He was very comfortable around her. She didn't even have to like say that she wasn't going to hurt him or that she had good intentions for him. He just knew by the way that she was. I did like the play on words that Elizabeth was very much involved in nature. She mentions that she feels very strongly connected to nature, and then later on we learned that the people in the cottage named Creature Spirit of the Forest. Again, parallels connecting them yet again. I also think it's ironic that Victor caused all of this just because he never dealt with his mother's death. He couldn't accept the fact that death was a thing, so he decided to conquer death and create life by creating Creature, and then he ended up regretting Creature, hunting him down, killing Elizabeth in the crossfire, which Elizabeth is a direct parallel of Victor's mom, who he was originally doing all of this for. That's genius. That's such a good full circle moment. I did think it was also very, very Mexican in the way that Victor would tell Creature, I'm your creator, I would never hurt you, while literally hurting him. Like, it literally reminded me of when your parent used to be like, te pego porque te quiero, porque te amo, te tengo que enseñar. No? Just me? You're lying. It wasn't just me. We all got the chanclas. Another ironic detail is that Victor, at the beginning, when he's teaching Creature things, he's carrying the candles. Creature is reaching over, trying to touch the flame, and Victor's like, oh, don't touch that. You're gonna burn yourself. Fire burns you. And then Victor tries to burn Creature on purpose. Another ironic detail is that Victor literally hated his dad for traumatizing him, but he ended up becoming his dad because he never dealt with his own baggage, so he transferred that trauma onto Creature, and then Creature obviously reacted to being completely mistreated, literally telling a tale old as time of generational trauma. But thankfully, Creature did have a good parental role, which was the old man. The old man... He was such a simple character. He was genuinely just the father role that Creature needed to learn and to feel safe around. The little head pad that they shared, it literally made me want to crash out, because what he means it's the first time that somebody has shown him humanity. Like, he always deserved that. It was never his fault. My favorite detail that I haven't seen people mention though is the parallel between Creature and the deer in the forest. The deer and Creature are both not humanoid. And with not being humanoid, people don't value you the same way that you would value another human, which was such an impactful detail to me. Like, probably broke me more than anything. You could tell that they were both connecting in that moment. They almost mirrored each other. Then the deer died, and that's like, if they do that to him, what about me? I love Guillermo's work so much because he always finds a way to find humanity in monsters, and like, it's just he's just so good at providing that perspective. Everybody needs love, everybody deserves to be cared for. Anyways, the Angel of Death. The Angel of Death definitely added another little Mexican Catholic touch to the whole story. Originally, at the beginning of the movie, it coaxes Victor to conquer death. As the story progresses and more people die around Victor, we can see that the angel in his dream, his face changes to a skull. It reminded me of Memento Mori, which I believe was the actual reason. It was just a reality check. You can't evade death. It's gonna happen. It definitely externalized Victor's struggle with coming to terms with death. It was a full circle moment for his trauma. This was truly a masterpiece in my eyes. It deserves all of the flowers in the garden, gorgeous visuals, endless layers of symbolism, and meaningful life themes like abandonment, generational trauma, humanity, and the power of forgiveness and acceptance. The rating is 5 stars for this, obviously, but I have a special label for my film list, a film that really truly impacted me, so I give this legendary. If you want to geek out together again, I'm tackling weapons next week, so stay tuned.